Now, our first guest says the primary motivator for domestic travel in 2020 is visiting family and friends, followed by road trips, national parks, and beaches. And while normally the best deals on airfare are for overseas trips, the uncertainty around international borders is making way for savings on domestic destinations. Scott Keys from Scott's Cheap Flights is here to fill us in on the trend and share his secrets on landing low-cost airfares. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So Americans, we're dealing with a lot right now. Trips are getting canceled. There's fear of flying and just traveling in general. And in Europe, they've placed those travel restrictions on us too. And you're saying the demand for domestic travel is going up.
That's exactly right. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding international travel right now when in good times might be exciting. That might be part of the fun of traveling abroad. But when you're worried about mandatory quarantines or, will there be new restrictions while I'm abroad? Might I need medical care? It starts to become worrisome. So a lot of folks are looking to travel domestically this summer and this year while that uncertainty reigns. We surveyed members and we found a huge increase in the number of Scott's Cheap Flights members who said they're really looking to travel domestically this year. And lucky for them, that's where the cheap flights have been popping up right now.
Oh, sounds good. So where do people want to go? Are they cutting back also on the number of trips they might normally take?
Yeah, the places that folks are really looking to go is especially out west and especially to national parks, the outdoorsy, the type of rural spots, because those are the places where folks feel most safe. They feel most, being outdoors, as the public health experts say, is one of the safest ways to be able to get out of your house right now. And so that's where the folks have been looking to travel, wonderful places like Yosemite, like Yellowstone, like the Grand Canyon. And that's the types of places that we've been seeing a lot of those deals popping up right now as airlines take a lot of those planes that have been kind of sitting in storage and add capacity. They're adding more and more planes to be flying to these leisure destinations, especially as business travel has essentially ground to a halt.
What are prices looking like? People may think, oh, I can get cheap flights right now. No one's traveling, but that's not necessarily true. People are flying.
That's right. There have been a real multitude of cheap flights available right now for travel, and especially domestically. I took a look before the show, and out of Sacramento, for instance, we have seen in the past week or two, these are actual fares that we've seen, flights to New York City for $191 round trip, flights to Alaska for $228 round trip, flights to Hawaii for $259 round trip, and for the intrepid travelers, the folks who might be looking to still be able to go abroad, there are flights down to the Caribbean, places like the Bahamas and Curacao for as low as $281 round trip out of Sacramento.
Oh my goodness, well that does sound like a good deal if you're willing to travel. So this is what you do. You tell people how and where to go for low-cost airfares so they can land a cheap deal?
That's exactly right. The funny thing about airfare is that it's constantly going up, and cheap flights are constantly popping up and disappearing. And if you don't happen to be searching for airfare 24/7, there's a good chance you're going to miss the best deals. And so rather than have that pressure on your shoulders, what we do is we say, look, we'll be the ones who search for it. You'll know that we'll be constantly monitoring for cheap flights out of Sacramento, and when they do pop up, we'll send you an email. We'll let you know about this great deal that just popped up to Hawaii, that amazing fare that just popped up to the Bahamas, so you don't miss it if you want that deal.
Scott, I need to keep you on my speed dial so I can get in on those great deals, because going to the Caribbean, going to Hawaii sounds amazing. Not sure when I'm going to be ready to do that, but I love your insight, and we really appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a dream to get to do this.
Take care.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.